Back with another video. I am going to take a hike on the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. I'm going to hike up over the mountain to the Route 30 shelters. Check out the shelters. Just get a little hike in. Figured I'd bring yous with me. Show yous the shelter areas. I had to park right up there, and I'm walking down the road here, and the trail that cuts up over should be right down here. So once I get to the trail, I'll click on. Alright, so I just left the highway. I am now on the trail. You can see it goes right up through there. So let's hike on up to the Route 30 shelters and check that out. A little bit of a drizzle, as long as it stays like that and doesn't start raining harder. Because if it does, I'll have to stop recording because my phone ain't waterproof, obviously. So this is the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. It's 70 miles long. It runs from Seward, Pennsylvania to Ohio Powell State Park. I did about half of this trail. Like this whole section from here, the whole ways to Seward, I already did. And they have the trails marked on the way. This is mile 46. So from here to Seward, I've already done that section. So I still got to finish the other half. Just I haven't got around to it. But I just felt the urge to take a little hike on it today and hike up to the Route 30 shelters, because that's a pretty nice shelter location. So I have a video already of the Route 56 shelters. I did a video of that shelter location last year. When you leave Seward, that's the first shelter set that you come to, coming this way from Seward. these yellow blazes is what you want to follow on this trail. It's yellow blaze the whole way. Until you get up to the connector trail, which takes you to the shelters. And I think those blazes are blue. All right, so here's the connector trail in the shelter area. The blue blaze takes you to the shelters. The yellow blaze takes you to Seward and to the end of the trail. So, which is north. So we're going to head down to the shelters. One good thing about today, it's kind of cool, kind of rainy, kind of cool. I don't think the rattlesnakes will be out. I hate them things. I think it was last year or the year before last, I was hiking and I was close to the 56 shelter area, and I was hiking down a trail like I am now, and all of a sudden I heard a rattle, so I turned and looked down, and kind of behind me, and here I had passed a rattlesnake. It was laying right on the side of the trail. He never rattled until after I was past him. And when I seen him, he was actually curling back up, which means he struck at me as I walked past. And I never even seen him or heard him. And thank God he missed. How, I don't know, but he missed. All right, so we're at the shelter location. You can see them over there. But here's a spot for like people that want to put up, you can put hammocks up or whatever, but here's a spot where you can cook. Nice fire pit, and you can do your cooking and everything. Like if you don't want to stay, like you can rent the shelters. I think it's $4 a night. But if you don't want to stay in a shelter, you can throw up, like if you're a hammock camper, you can throw up a hammock, you know, somewhere like up in here away from the shelters if you want, or there's tent locations where you can put a tent up. But you have to reserve for the overnight stays. Like I said, I think it's $4 a night, and I also think you could only stay like one night. Like you can't stay multiple nights in a row. I don't think. But here's two of the cabins here. This is cabin number 3 and cabin number 2. So that's what they look like. They're pretty nice. They're all the same. They all look the same. The whole length of the trail, all the shelters are built the same. And then here's the inside, and you have a place to hang up your, you can hang up your backpacks and whatever. And here's hooks. You can actually hang your hook, your hammock here. Like hook it there and run it over to there and hook it. And then your hammock would be like right here. And there's the fire pit. Nice picnic table. This is cabin number 2, and they always keep wood. Like you can see the big wood pile down here. We'll get down there, but big wood pile. They always, DCNR always has wood cut and ready to go for the campers. Same thing, all the cabins are the same. Places to hang stuff, shelves to put your stuff, and a fire pit. Grab a couple photos. Okay, and then we'll walk down to the, it's peaceful up here, really quiet. See over there is a tent pad where you can put your tents. Walk over there in a minute. And that big place there, that's the wood shed where DCNR puts the wood for the campers. This is cabin 1. So you have cabin 1, 2, and 3. Again, same thing. They're all the same. Fire pit, all that. Take you over here and show you the tent pads. And here's one of the where you can put your tent. Set your tent up on here. So that's a tent site. Like I said, if you don't want to stay in the shelter, like say, well, unlike the Appalachian Trail, I think once you reserve the shelter, no one else can just come show up, you know, right before dark and jump on in the shelter with you because you reserved it. And I think it's just for you and whoever you're with or whatever. Unlike the Appalachian Trail, it's sometimes you'll get 6, 7 people staying in a shelter, you know. But here's the woodshed, and down that trail there is another tent site where you can throw up a tent, like if you want to get away from the shelters and everything. But that's where DCNR puts all the wood. And there's your hook to hang your food up at night, you know, from bears, which there's a lot of bears in these woods. I don't know how often people see them, but There's definitely bear in these woods. A lot of them. Here's a pump. Water is not audible, not for human consumption. Huh. Crazy. And here they even got restrooms. So all the sites also have restrooms. So, you know, this is the men's restroom. This is the men's restroom. You got your garbage can. There's your trash. And that's the woman's restroom, which I won't go in, obviously. I know my gender. But, so that was men's restroom, female. Like, look at the wood stack. Like, you'll be good for wood. You never have to worry about looking for wood. That's for sure. Okay, so we got the two. Okay, here it is over here. I like this shelter. The one over here. Well, there's two actually right on the ridge. There's one here and then there's one down there. These are my two favorite shelters because, I mean, look at the view. You know what I mean? Wake up in the mornings to that. So here's your fire pit. This one has steps that you can walk up to it. Wood's all ready to go for you. Same thing. Got your fire pit. And that's your view. Like, it don't get much better than that. So I'm going to snap a couple photos here real quick. Okay, so that was cabin number 4. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite shelter at this location is cabin number 4, shelter number 4. Just because of the view. You're facing the wood, you're facing, you know, that. Like when you wake up and when you're sitting there in the evenings just chilling, I mean, that's your view. And cabin number 5 is also a good one because, you know, you're facing the same way, the same mountain. That's cabin 4 up there, right there. And then you walk down a little bit and here's cabin 5 facing the same way with the same view. So my favorite shelters. Again, the whole length of the trail, all the shelters look the same. They're all built the same, they're all the same. And then down here is another tent site. Again, if you don't want to stay in the shelter and you have a tent, you like the tent, or a hammock, whichever. But there's your, you know, there's your fire ring and all that stuff. And I think at each shelter location along the trail, there's 5 shelters per site. Like each spot has 5 shelters. I'm pretty sure. Almost positive on that. All right, so that's the little tour of the Route 30 shelter area on the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. And you got your for your pets. But it's a nice, like I said, shelter 4 and 5 that sets along that ridge. Those are my favorite ones. You got another water pump there, but those are my favorite ones at this spot. Oh, actually, that's the same water pump. Sorry. So I really like that they stock the wood for you. DCNR, they keep the wood stocked for you, which all you got to do is hike in and camp or whatever, and normally you have the wood already there for you. You don't have to walk around through the woods looking and collecting wood. It's already there, split and ready to go. So okay, so that was the Route 30 shelters, little tour of the shelters. Nice little bench Hope you enjoyed the little tour. For those of you that never been on this trail, and never been on the trail, never hiked any of it or anything, hope you enjoyed that. And at some point you'll be able to come out and enjoy it. Again, this trail runs from Seward, Pennsylvania to Ohio State Park, 70 miles. So, good journey. The only thing you got to watch out for, especially on the warm, sunny days, is them rattlesnakes. Man, I don't like them things. Probably because one almost tagged me, and it just freaked me out. So now I just extra careful now. There's a lot of rattlesnakes in these woods. I mean, they're sneaky too, man. They'll like lay right on the side of the trail as you walk by, like that one did with me. He never gave a warning. He never rattled. I'm thinking maybe he was sleeping, and once I passed, he came to and just struck out of reaction, you know what I mean? But I was already past him, maybe by a step. But that was a close call, man. That was close. And I was pretty far. I was pretty far from any road or anything. So I don't know, man. That would have been a little, it's hard to say. I don't know how fast the venom in those things work or not. I mean, I don't know if I would have made it out of there or not. But anyways, we're venturing out the trail now from the shelters. Again, I had a little bit of time. It rained pretty much all day, and finally got a break in the weather. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna go do a little video of the Route 30 shelters. So that's what I did. So right now, just venturing back out. It's a really nice trail. Like I said, I did from Seward to down here where I parked, Route 30. And I got like 45 more miles of this trail to do. Just haven't got around to finishing it, but I will. But I'm heading back out now. I can hear the traffic on Route 30 down over the mountain in the distance, so I'm getting close back to where I parked. Hope you enjoyed the little tour, little adventure while we had a break in the weather. And don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment if you was ever here, if you stayed in any of them shelters there. Again, I like shelter 4 and 5. They're my favorites. Just how they're setting, overlooking the mountain. But hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.